Okay, Zoe fans, so next car in the workshop, just getting set up. So this is a rather nice looking ZE50, so 2020 plate, recovered to me from Renault, and it's non-drive. So if you start it and put your foot down, you can hear the motor spinning, but it kind of spins and grinds and stuff like that. It has done, when it focuses, 34,300 miles. Really nice car, but obviously not so functional when it doesn't drive. So let's have a look at the under tray. Basically, there was a bang, and there's bits of the reduction gearbox on there, and a glitter party. So yeah, glitter party in the diff. This is one of the cogs out of the diff. Not too good. Yeah, and that's part of the diff as well. Okay, yummy. So firstly, I should say, if you're not subscribed, please do so. I've got one of those diff cogs here somewhere. Hold on. Oh yeah, that's what it should look like. That one's pretty good. That was out of a failed diff, but obviously not that part. Yeah, not too good. Okay, fun and games. Yeah, if you're not subscribed, please do so. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, which would be really cool. So yeah, this car went bang. Not a lot of miles, which is not too good. Let's have a look underneath. Tried to have a look sort of from the top, but it doesn't really work. You can't quite see far enough back. So turn the torch on. Now let's turn the other torch on, so that'll work better with the camera. Look at that, a massive hole in the side of the diff. So yeah, yummy. Not too good, is it? The case of this is actually structural as well. Because on the top of here is like one of the engine mounts, effectively. So this is the motor and this is the reduction box. They're both bolted together, and the car's just turned off, gone to sleep, so that's good. There's an engine mounting at sort of this end, that way, which is the driver's side. Then there's one above the gearbox here, and then there's a back one here with this little sort of dog bone bit, stabilizer bar. So yeah, this case is kind of structural, which is not too good, but yeah, this is massively just let go. I've seen them. Oh, there's a hole in the back of it there as well. Let's just go up here. Look at this, the case is just absolutely gone. The diff has just totally exploded. If you try and spin the motor, it grinds and it sounds like sorry, I should say smells like burning oil sort of thing. It obviously is just grinding the rest of the oil. So yeah, we got to swap the diff. Having a look under here, there's a little bit of a dent here. I saw that. I don't know if it's hit something or if it's just been jacked up badly. So it arrived to me with the under tray off. I think it's probably just been jacked up badly, which is annoying. Or has it? Or has it been lifted by forklift? Oh, it's got a matching one on the other side as well. Yeah, so I think it's been, oh yeah, look, there's here and here, it's been lifted there. That's really not good, because, sorry for wobbling the camera around, it's difficult when I'm underneath. So this is the front lower arm, and it's mounted with a bolt here and with a bolt here. So you're right next to that mounting point. I mean, this subframe is aluminium. Yeah, so that's really not ideal. So this car really needs the tracking doing as a minimum, because the front subframe is actually slightly bent. Yeah, okay, fun and games. Well, I'll let the customer know. But yeah, we need to get this reduction gearbox off. Apologies for the background noise. A car arrived actually from Cornwall to me in Essex, which is a non-drive, but the battery is like nearly full. So I've just turned the heating on, put the lights on and everything, just to sort of drain it down a little bit, because it's going to be a little while before I get to that one. But yeah, glitter party in the reduction gearbox, lovely. So I've got a replacement one. The reduction gearbox on the 2020 onwards is different to the earlier Zoe. So earlier Zoes have the gear selector cable is physical, and then they have a parking lock, physical parking lock, which locks the gearbox. It pops out and locks it. And then on the ZE50, they took out the parking lock, put on a blanking plate. ZE50s have got a rear parking brake, so they've got the switch inside, and they do the zzz for the parking motor. And they don't have a cable between the gear selector and the reduction gearbox. So the sort of gear, how the car knows what gear it is in, it's just a switch inside basically. Whereas on the earlier cars up to 2019, there's a physical cable from the gear selector to the reduction gearbox, and then the sort of the switch or sensor that the car knows what gear it's in is on the reduction gearbox, basically at the other end of the cable. So yeah, fun and games. Right, I'll definitely have to let the customer know about that, send them some pictures. I'll just demonstrate sort of what happens. Oh, I'll just get out from underneath. Right, so normally with a diff, when you spin one wheel, the other one goes the other way, basically, because that's how diffs work. But if I spin this wheel, nothing happens. Nothing happens. That is it. Also, amusingly, this metal piece was sitting up on that lower arm, just on the top corner of it. I think that's a pin out of the diff. Nice. Okay, cool. Right, well, I'm going to start stripping this down. I'm just getting set up. And yeah, I will catch you in a bit. Cheers. Okay, so just starting to get this stripped down. I've done a couple of reduction gearboxes on Zoes of different ages. It's not mega common, but it does happen. But this is by far the worst condition one. Yeah, I've done Zoe and Kangoo as well, where you've got a crack in the back of the diff part, a bit's come off. But the whole case, you can see there, struggling to focus in the right place, but see there, the case is split open. That's really not good. That has properly gone bang. I have slight concerns what the condition of the motor output shaft will be, but yeah, we just got to get the box off and find out. So yeah, fortunately, this being a 2020 car, it's in a reasonable condition. Looks like it's been maintained, so it's had its service, it's got its copper grease on, good old copper grease. But yeah, so these can get quite rusty in here. The other side has actually got a little bit of rust on, but both have come off really easily, and these can be quite tricky, these hub nuts, quite tight. Yeah, so I've just oiled up these sort of knuckle bolts, and I'm going to get them off. So I'm going to continue to strip this down, see what happens. Need to get the front bumper off and just kind of generally get a bit more access in there and see what happens. Right, cool. Well, I'm not sure this car wants to be fixed. The drive shafts are stuck into the hubs. I've got this wound up pretty tight, got some oil on it. I'm just going to leave that for a bit, but yeah, that shaft does not want to come out. Reminds me of when I did my wife's Zoe, the white one, quite some time ago. That was the same. I mean, this is a lot newer car. You can get this, but it tends to be on the sort of really early 2015-ish cars, just because they've been there for 10 years kind of thing. This one, obviously, it's been there half that time, but still very stuck. But yeah, it was the same on my wife's one. So I don't know what it is about the ZE50s. I've obviously got the 5-bolt discs, but yeah, well, the disc goes onto the hub, doesn't it? So the hub's possibly still the same as the early ones. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know what it is with the ZE50s, but the drive shaft just seems to get stuck into the hubs. But I'll keep giving that some. But I just wanted to take a moment to talk about this. I saw this in one of those really dubious adverts online, and I sort of thought, I don't know if that's any good. But anyway, I thought I'd get one. I'll see what it's like. It wasn't expensive, but this is great. So I'm just going to take the water pipe off there to drain out the coolant. So I've moved the clip. I have got a clip tool for that. Got one of these, which is quite cool because it's got like the cup and that split bit, but it's also got the ratchet on it, so if you squeeze it, it will hold that clip. So that is really good if you do lots of water pipes with those slightly annoying clips. And then this is actually intended for body trim panels, so that you don't sort of damage them, as an improvement on kind of a body clip removal tool, because obviously you're pushing kind of both ends away from each other. But things like this water pump, if you pull on that, it will tighten up that end and it will be hard to get off. Whereas if I just put this on here and give it a push, it just pushes it. How cool is that? That is really cool. Okay, I'm a bit sad, but I'm really enjoying these tools. It weren't expensive, I don't know, it was about £4 or something, but yeah, definitely that is the thing to have. And I used it to take a door card off the other day. Actually, when I did my video on the Renault Zoe heat pump, like if you've got poor heating in your Zoe or no heating, there's sort of a little kind of hack I've developed to get some decent heating. And I use this to take off the door card because the clips are really hard. You have to, there's kind of nothing to pull on either, but you can just slip this up behind the door card, do it like that, and it just pops it off, and really good. And it doesn't really mark it because it's got 2 points and it's straight. Yeah, really good. Cool. Right, well, I'm just going to pull that off the rest of the way, get the coolant out, and try and get these drive shafts off. Right, catch you later. Well, this is proving to be a bit fun and games. So I've got the drive shaft out. I had to use my hub press, so it bolts on, and then you wind the middle in to push the drive shafts out of the hub. So I've done that. That took quite a lot of force. I was a little bit concerned, but yeah, they did finally move. Next issue is the drive shafts have moved a little bit, but basically are a bit stuck. What's effectively happening is, you can see we're looking into the middle of the diff here. I don't know if we can rotate it actually. Hold on, because that would help things. Can I get that in? No. So the dark bit you can see here, that is the diff, and effectively it's like having something heavy on the end, and that heavy thing should be being held in place, but it's been released, and so the weight is kind of sitting on the drive shaft. Then you're trying to wiggle it out, and the more you move it, obviously it's just kind of pulling on the end, effectively leaning on it, and just making it really difficult. So yeah, I've kind of wiggled it a bit, but I'm basically now gonna have to put a bar into this hole. I mean, look at this mess. It's not good, is it? This whole thing has cracked and moved. You can stick your finger in the gap. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to put a bar up in here and lever on the end of the drive shaft so you can see poking. There's one there, and then there's the other one. I mean, come on, what a mess. There was actually a cog in the middle, which is one of the ones that joins them together. So there's two of these, or there should be. I think the other one, I don't know where the other one is. Maybe it's the one in the boot. Yeah, so that basically just fell out. Which gave me a bit of room, and I was able to rotate because there's a solid part there and then a hole there, basically. Yeah, so a bit of a mess. I'm also a little bit concerned that because this case has got the engine mounting on the other side, that the whole case is, well, it's obviously structurally weakened, but it's actually kind of bent, and then the motor stack is sitting down. So yeah, when it comes to taking this back mounting off, I'm going to support the motor first, which I would normally do after. So it's going to make that slightly more difficult, but I don't think there's any choice really, because if you're underneath it and you're undoing this, you don't want the top of that to fail and the whole thing to just drop down, because that's not gonna go well. So yeah, a little bit of fun and games, but yes, I'll see what I can do. I just really don't want to damage those drive shafts. I mean, they could be damaged already, but I'm hoping not, but we will see. Right, I'll see what I can do with the lever bar. Back soon. Okay, this car definitely doesn't want to be fixed. So obviously we had the issue where the drive shafts were stuck in the hubs, so we pressed them out with quite a lot of force, got them out. Then they're kind of stuck in the diff, basically. So I got my lever bar, spin around and get up there, and pushed on the insides, and one of them moved. So the diff is, and the reduction gearbox is kind of over. Oh, I'm just lying on bits of gearbox. Right, there we go. Is sort of on the passenger side. So the passenger side one is shorter. So that one moved, so that's cool, so that's gone. And every time you touch something, you get filthy in here. Yeah, but the driver's side one, which is this one, is totally stuck inside here. So lever bar didn't work, and then when I got the passenger side one out, I put a long like socket extension bar, 1/2-inch extension, and I could get it to the end of the this drive shaft from the driver's side all the way through. So if I go up here, that is, where are we? Where are you? Can you see? Oh, there it is, you see. Yeah, there. So I could put it through where the drive shaft that I could take out, and tap on the end of this one, and I've given it a blooming good tap, and it will not move. So I strongly suspect that there's swarf that's got stuck on the end of the drive shaft, which is in there. You can see that splined a bit. That's what I've been tapping on. That's the end of the drive shaft that we really need to remove, then to be able to get what's left of this gearbox off. It just will not move. So I think a bit of swarf has got wedged in there, and we've just probably just tapped it in some more and wedged it in. So we're going to change tactic. So what I've done is, you may well have noticed that a bit's come off. So basically I've got my lever bar and levered on the cracked, main big cracked bit, and just cracked it off. And what I'm going to try and do is take this drive shaft off with this sort of diff holder, with this outer cog on it, basically with it attached. I think I need to get more off because there's a bit up there holding it on. Sorry, it doesn't really focus that well when it's really close. But I'm going to give this a wiggle. But yeah, I think I need to remove more of it. What I might need to do is remove half the reduction box, basically. So if I undo all these Torx bolts, then this half will come off. It's got sealant and stuff on it. I'll have to take the engine mounting off. I've got my lift under the motor because I've taken off the rear engine mount. This is just like an absolute nightmare. So it's sort of Easter weekend now. I started this last week. Yeah, and after some time on this, I just kind of had to just go away from it really and just yeah, take a break from it, and went and played with the G-Wiz actually. But yeah, a bit of a nightmare. So I'll see what I can do. I'll probably, yeah, I think what I'm going to do, this bit I don't think it's going to want to crack off, but we really need, obviously this big cog is what we've got to try and get out. So I might give this a tap. Let's see if we can release this a little bit. Potentially take this bolt out because there's a fat bit here and a thin bit here, because then it will probably crack down here. So I think this one out first, see if we can take this chunk off, give this a little bit more room. Potentially do the same at the top. So yeah, undo a couple of bolts there and try and release that, what's left of that bit, because that's quite thin. And hopefully with those out, I can lift this drive shaft out with the diff, the innards of the diff on it. What a blooming nightmare. I mean, if this was an older car, kind of probably would have given up by now. But yeah, I mean, this is a 2020 plate car. It's done 34,000 miles. I mean, come on, but everything is covered in swarf. If you can see there, there's just bits. There's bits on here, yeah. And, oh, yeah, just what a nightmare. But yeah, okay. Well, the only way is forwards. I think I'll try this bottom bit first because this has got more access, and then see what happens. I mean, it can't get a lot more broken than it is now. We've got to do something with it. The diff is quite heavy, and I can't really take it out fully with the drive shaft still on it, because it's going to be really, really awkward. That's pretty much guaranteed to break the drive shaft, because it's going to be flopping about and bashing into stuff. Yeah, getting twisted. So, right, let's do that, and then we'll see where we get to. Fun and games. Okay, some good news. So I tried breaking a couple more bits off. Well, I did manage to break a couple more bits off, but there still wasn't space to get the diff out. So in the end, I just took the side off the reduction box, which was still a little bit of a pain in the backside, but actually came off. So if we go on here, just turn the light on. Oh, and there is some good news as well, which the customer will be pleased about, because so far it's all been bad news. So half of the reduction box is still on the car. There we go. Look at this. This is the I think underneath there is the magnet that catches the swarf, but it's literally got like, it's just it's just grey oil with particles. Lovely. At least now we can see the motor shaft. I'll get my light a bit closer, and that looks okay. No major concerns. I mean, it's going to need a good clean because everything is just covered, but the motor should be okay. Right, now drive shaft. So this is the part of the diff that the drive shaft is wedged into. There's still not enough room really to get that out, which is annoying. But what I can do now is I should be able to take the second half of the reduction box off. Then we'll just be left with the drive shaft with that diff, kind of diff carrier part, wedged on the end of it. And then I'm hoping with sort of like this part, because this and this is all part of this half of the reduction box, and that kind of sticks out. I'm hoping with those out of the way, I'll then be able to wiggle that out, and worst case the drive shaft is no good, but best case we can then tap this and get this off, and then we just have to put the new reduction box on. But oh, what a nightmare. But yeah, that is amazing. I mean, I'm probably going to be picking bits of metal out of my finger forever, but it's like silver paint, but it's just metal. It's just mushed up bits of metal. So yeah, a bit of a glitter party in here. You can have a good view in there. Lovely. But yeah, that is actually kind of good. So usually this is what kind of happens. I've seen a few of these, not mega common, but yeah, I've done a few. It's the diff part that explodes, and the motor end tends to be okay, basically. So yeah, the cogs kind of round here are okay. This is spinning, but inside that diff. You can look up how the diff works if you're, and they're quite interesting actually. So send the power to, you know, one wheel or the other. Quite cool. When you go around a corner, one wheel can rotate more than the other. Quite interesting, and not so good if you end up with one wheel in the mud. But yeah, quite an interesting device anyway. Saves your tires from getting scrubbed to bits. But yeah, they tend to break up inside that diff for whatever reason. So yeah, there we go. This is literally the worst one I've ever seen. Right, so what I'm going to do now is undo the bolts to get this half off, so it's got a lot of 13s around it, and yeah, get that off, and then hopefully wiggle that out, and then we will be getting somewhere. I mean, I'm way over the time I quoted for this job. I mean, that's just totally gone out the window. I did say to the customer the time was based on an earlier Zoe, and the ZE50 is a little bit more of a pain in the backside, but yeah, I mean, everything. If I just show you around the 12-volt battery, oh, I get a nice view of my gazebo as I stand up. So the 12-volt battery is the other way round, so it's sort of front to back, and everything's just crammed in. So there's a fuse box on the back of the battery tray, and then the ECU down the side. Everything's just more squidged in, and just more of a pain in the backside to get out, basically. And also the clips, wherever they, try not to touch too much with this filthy finger, but yeah, I can't see any now, but yeah, wherever clips are that hold the wiring looms on, they just don't want to come out. I like that one. Can you quite see that there? They just don't want to come out. I ended up cutting one, and they're just no good next time. So yeah, interesting. The battery tray also had a sticker on it, like a part number sticker, and you can see that's been crushed. So there's that's to catch any battery acid, basically, or gas or whatever. So the battery tray's got a little drain, and then that sits into there. So it looks like the battery tray's been replaced at some point. Whether this car's been rebuilt, and that's related to the fact the gearbox has exploded early, could be, but I don't really know the history. I haven't seen any other, you know, like hydraulic brackets are not cracked or anything, so there's nothing massively obvious. But yeah, it could just be unfortunate. I don't know why it would have had a battery tray replacement, and it would have had to been a reasonably big accident to obviously damage that. But anyway, that's not really my concern. That is my concern. So I'm going to undo these bolts. I'm going to take that fan ducting off, and yeah, we carry on. Right, next stage, see if we can actually get that drive shaft out. Right, catch you in a bit. We've actually made some progress. Hurrah! There is no reduction box on the motor, and here it is. What a disaster. Oh, an airplane goes over as soon as I start filming. Let's just let the airplane go over. Okay, airplanes have gone. So I tried breaking bits off, bits that were cracked, or, you know, giving it a good wallop. Got a couple of bits off, but there still wasn't enough room to get this this diff part out. So basically what I did was just took all the bolts off that hold the two halves of the reduction gearbox together. On the replacement one, I can actually show you. So this is like a whole box, and you can see all of these bolts, all of those Torx bolts all the way around the edge. So basically undid those and split this in half and took this bit off, which is that part, which is a bit of a wiggle, but got that off. And then that left this bit on the car with a motor shaft through there. So this is the back. And then undid all the bolts, those bolts that are holding the reduction gearbox onto the motor. I then had the issue that the diff, this is so heavy, it's just pushing on everything. So I had to wedge that up with a couple of bits of wood, basically, to get it out of the way, and then wiggled that off. So the good news is that is off. Also good news that it's not sort of damaged the motor at all. So a Kangoo I did, it actually twisted that part nearest the motor, and it was like stuck on these, and it actually pulled out one of these pins. So these are like the guide pins to make sure everything's lined up, basically, because you want this to be well aligned. Let's turn the light on. So yeah, I was a little bit concerned that it might have sort of, you know, be twisted and pull on the motor. So that's not happened. It's not damaged the motor output shaft, so it's not run with any swarf in there. It's because there's a couple of big cogs here, and then the diff part kind of over here, and that's where the failures happened, basically. So not enough swarfs made it back to that looks absolutely fine. There is a little bit, and I've spun the motor, it sounds okay. It sounds silent, which it should do, but I mean, it should do at 34,000 miles, but you see there's a little bit of corrosion on the edge of that edge of that ring there, which is just the oval ring in the middle of the position sensor. But I can change that, that's not a big issue. Just have to take this clip off and take this off and get down there. So we can do that, but the motor is not damaged, which is really good. And the other good thing is obviously we've got the reduction gearbox off. What a nightmare. So I'm hoping I can now get this diff part off this drive shaft. So it seems like there's some swarf wedged in there, because I've been tapping that. I tried pulling it, tried tapping it, kind of tried everything really. I think I've managed to sort of push that a little bit, but yeah, that is fairly wedged in there. So we need to give this a wallop next, I think, and just see if that moves, give it a wiggle, see what happens. We could probably cut this with a grinder as well, but it's not worth spending ages on it because it's, I mean, a slightly rusty drive shaft. But if we, you know, if we can avoid getting another one, we'll give it a go. Obviously it's got joints and bearings and stuff, so you can't hit it too hard, but I'm so relieved. Right, cup of tea time, and then we'll have a play with this. Yeah, all right, cheers. Okay, right. And then the phone rang as well when I tried to record this bit. Right, so if we look inside there, can you see that bit of metal? Oh, it just focused. Yeah, focus on that. See, there you go. Oh, and then it goes out of focus. So there's a bit of metal wedged against, between the drive shaft and the diff kind of carrier bit. So there's just like a little gap there where it slides in. And then... yeah, and then it goes into the sort of cog in the middle, and obviously all those bits have fallen out. So that's why it's stuck in there, basically. So yeah, I've cut that bit of the bearing off. Any part of bearing parts you cut like this is so hard. It's obviously hardened, isn't it? It's designed to get hot, and you know, probably a decent bearing. So yeah, this is the seal. So I don't want to damage this metal part because that is part of the drive shaft. This is a kind of clip that goes around there. I don't really know why, but I think it holds some of the gears in. I don't know. But yeah, so don't want to damage that part. That's just a rubber seal that belongs in the gearbox, so that can just come off. We can cut that, but then I don't know if we're going to cut through this, because this is probably quite hard. I don't know really. What I might try and do, yeah, is probably just tap this to try and just push it back off it. Maybe just stand on here and wallop that and see what happens, really. I mean, you know, we're just trying to save it. So if you hit it and damage it, you've got to buy a new one. But I mean, like that, I can't use that anyway. So as it stands, I've got to buy a new one anyway. So yeah, or a good used one. So I'm going to give that a go. But yeah, that explains why it wouldn't come out. And however much I tapped, so I have my extension bar in here, pushing on there. However much I tapped on that, it's just not gonna come out, is it? However much you hit it. And I hit it pretty hard, I can tell you that much. Right, come on, we can do this. Last bit. Okay, so having banged and wiggled, and not really banged, just sort of tapped and wiggled and yeah, put some oil through here, it still doesn't want to come out. And I have worked out the reason for that is because it's bent. Basically, I thought I was really missing something. It's quite free. If I wedge this one down, you can get this to, there you go, you can get that to spin on the end. So it's quite free, but as soon as you try to move it, it just locks up. So just like I was having in the car, there was obviously that bit kind of down the side, obviously wasn't helping, but the whole thing is literally just bent. It's slightly difficult to see, but it's actually bending downwards slightly, and literally it's quite tight in that hole. But yeah, it's just bent enough that that won't come off. So that drive shaft is no good. That is scrap. I have ordered a new one. There was a couple on eBay, so went for kind of the most reasonably priced one because some were quite expensive. And yeah, the downside is have to wait a couple of days, but yeah, it's not a major issue. At least we know what's going on. I can get the reduction box on and kind of get everything ready for that drive shaft anyway, so not a major issue. But at least we know why, and at least it is off in all its lovely, glittery, gooey, yummy glory. Cool, so that is that. We can't save that drive shaft. I just strongly suspect that when this all exploded, because it's these gears that have all come apart. So there's 4 cogs in here, 1 on each end of the drive shaft, and then 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom, basically, and then this clip kind of hangs it all together. So those 2 cogs in the middle kind of rotate over with this on that pin. Where's that pin that I had? Oh, here it is. So this pin, I'll get that. Hold on, caller. I've retrieved some parts. So that one's on there, and there's 1 at each side, and then there's a hole, obviously at the top with that pole, and then another one down there. So then there's another 2 cogs, 1 round there, 1 round there, and as the motor drives the gearbox, it drives this outer gear, which spins the whole thing. And that means that it has to push the force through one drive shaft or another. And this is the bit that's just shredded, exploded. And so it's not surprising that that end is bent, basically. So I need to take this clamp off because they have taken it off there. When I first did the Zoes, I just found it a lot easier to take these 3 bolts out and just take that carrier off with the bearing. Whereas the drive shaft that's coming just has that bearing. So I need to retrieve this carrier, but other than that, that is all scrap. And I can start rebuilding. Well, I'm going to change that little ring, aren't I? But I've got some of them, that's not too much of an issue. So yeah, I can move forward there in here, I think. Yeah, there they are. So I need to pop one of those on that motor and get that off. And then I can get the reduction box on and actually start rebuilding. All right, cool. Okay, so let's start rebuilding, and time for a top tip, something I've just kind of worked out. So this front subframe, which runs along here, is really kind of in the way. It is possible to do the reduction gearbox off and on with it in place, but it makes it a lot harder, especially if you've not got a lift, because I've got to hold it, I've got to lay down there kind of with it on my chest and push it upwards, and it's a real wiggle if this front subframe's in place. The reduction gearbox is surprisingly heavy, must be about, it's at least 20 kilos, probably 25 kilos, so it does make it a bit tricky. And yeah, what the sort of long way to do it is to take all this front off. Obviously I've got the bumper off, but to get that front subframe off, it's got the radiator pack sitting on it. So what you would normally do is take the headlights off, take the slam panel off, take the charge port off, take the washer bottle off, take that crash panel off, and then yeah, dismantle radiator pack. There's a wiring loom, that wiring loom that runs around there, goes down there, goes up there, quite a bit of stuff. Then obviously radiator pack. So yeah, quite a bit of dismantling. And what makes it tricky to do it any other way is there's a couple of bolts. Can you see there's that fixing there and here? So that's an air con pipe, and that's bolted down onto the subframe here. Now there is just room if you basically put some straps on. This is just a rubber dam, so don't worry too much about that, but make sure you put the straps just on the radiator pack and not round the aircon pipes that are behind. So you want it literally just around the back of the radiator pack. So I'm hanging the radiator pack on that slam panel, and then you can undo this subframe, undo these bolts there, and same the other side, those 18mm bolts, just to bring that subframe down. There's plenty of wiggle on this aircon pipe, as you can see, and then that gives you a little bit of room, and then you can undo these bolts. And then now I can take that subframe off, I can give myself more room, but I can save a couple of hours dismantling, a couple of hours rebuilding, and yeah, make it a lot easier basically. So I first did this on the Kangoo, and I did it on the Kangoo because it doesn't have that pipe there. The pipe's all on the back of the radiator pack, so there's kind of nothing on holding this on other than the bolts. So on a Kangoo you just strap it up and then you take that off. But yeah, so I wondered whether that was possible on the Zoe, so then I tried it on the Zoe, and it is. So a little bit of labour saving. Just be careful as you take this off, because you don't want to break like these plastic mounts. So just going to wiggle that out, and obviously when you put the radiator the subframe back underneath the radiator, just make sure that's kind of all seated properly, and don't forget to put your bolts, a couple little 10mm back in as you go. So yeah, I'm going to take that off, give myself a bit more room, Then I can do the that bit in the middle of the position sensor, that oval ring, and then we can get the gearbox on. So I'm still waiting for the subframe. No, subframe. Oh, the words today. I'm still waiting for the drive shaft, the long drive shaft. I've got that bracket off that I had to get off with the bearing on. Or the bearing's on the drive shaft, isn't it? And that bracket holds onto the bearing. So yeah, I've got that off, so that's good. Drive shaft's coming tomorrow, so I just kind of wanted to get this a little bit further forward, and then we can actually get this car back on the road. Mad. I've tidied up most of the bits, and then I realised there's a load more bits and all those bolts there to tidy up, but yes, it's all good. Right, we are gonna get there, so let's get the subframe off, and then we can have a bit more room. All right, cool. Okay, we've actually got a reduction box on there that is in one piece. Seems like a fairly epic achievement the way this project's going. Yeah, so one thing I should say, so it's sort of relatively easy to wiggle that up there. Well, not too bad, not too bad. I mean, I'm working on the floor, so it's all good. Certainly with the front subframe out the way, it's not too bad. If that's still there, it is a big pain in the backside, basically, because it's kind of long that way, but with this space here, you can push it upwards, turn it, and then slot it on. So where the motor fits into the reduction box, there's like a fibre kind of seal, and then there's like the rubber oil seal behind it, because the motor output shaft goes into the reduction box through that rubber seal, and then there's oil in the reduction box. So those seals are really important for keeping the oil in the reduction box and not in the motor, which would obviously be bad. So yeah, just be careful. It's really easy to scuff those seals when you take a reduction box off or on. The seals are on the reduction box, so if it's a scrap one, it's not too much of an issue. It's got a hole in it, it's not going to be a problem. But as you sort of put the new one on, or if you're dismantling to do a motor repair or whatever, just bring that box off straight and put it on straight. You know, don't sort of wiggle it at an angle or anything like that. Yeah, just although it's heavy, just make sure you support it and take it off sort of, yeah, square or straight, whatever you want to call it. So that's bolted up. I haven't realised I haven't changed the copper washer there is, so I'm going to change that, because I presume it doesn't look like it's been changed. So I'm going to do that, make sure there's no drips, and yeah, start getting this back together. Yeah, nice. So I've got the engine mount, this one, that one that sits on top of the reduction box, to put on, and then the rear one, which is over there, that's part of it, and that bit that's hanging down, those to put back on, so it's all supported. Yeah, and then we can start rebuilding. All right, good stuff. We are getting somewhere. I'm going to crack on. Cheers. Okay, well, I've done a fair bit of that rebuilding that I was just talking about, which is moments for you, but in reality several days has gone by, and the reason for that is I ordered the drive shaft for this side, for the driver's side, and it is with FedEx, and it's been with FedEx for about 6 days now, and it hasn't moved. So I ordered the drive shaft last week on Tuesday, then I was rebuilding the car kind of off and on throughout the week, and yeah, the drive shaft it got picked up and it hasn't moved. So then over the weekend I ordered another one, and it is now Tuesday of the following week, and we have the second drive shaft I ordered. What a palaver. So this car should have been finished off at the end of last week and gone, but it's just been sat here taking up my workshop. But yeah, as I said to the customer, this one just doesn't want to die. It's going to be a pain from start to finish, but we've now got one, so hopefully that one is good. It looked all right in the pictures. So we need to get that drive shaft on. That's the bracket we need to put on it first, and then that gets slotted in, so you can see that the other end of the reduction box there. Much happier looking reduction box. So yeah, drive shaft sticks out here in the middle of the hub, and put the hub nut on and all that stuff. We've got brackets to put back on here, but yeah, it'd just be nice to see the wheels do the things that the wheels should do. Yeah, and then sort of final rebuilds. I'm just kind of checking things as I go around, but yeah, it's all good. I need to torque everything up. But yeah, I can actually start putting this car back together now. Really frustrating, but that is literally the way it goes sometimes. Right, cool. I'm not short of work, so that's not an issue. I've not been bored. There's plenty of Zoes outside. Right, now I'm going to crack on. Okay, not far to go now. So we have got 2 drive shafts. Amazing. So that's the one that finally arrived. Not thanks to FedEx. And now you can spin one disc one way and the other one spins the other way like it should do. So I've reconnected to a battery as well, jumped in and just spun the motor. Obviously it's a little bit grumpy because it knows the back wheels aren't spinning and the parking brake's on, the electronic parking brake at the rear. So yeah, it's not the happiest, but it spins like it should do, basically a lot better than it obviously did before. It had a check electric warning on the dash, and that's kind of the thing I want to check for, really, any faults, any issues before I put everything back together. But using the diagnostic machine, the check electric was charge port locking motor, which the charge port locking motor is not here because that's on the bumper, which is outside. So yeah, I think I'm going to do bumper next. What we got left to do? So we've got under tray, which I had to clean because it's absolutely filthy. That ruined a rag. So yeah, under tray is going to be one of the last ones. I think bumper next. Then we've got the arch liners, because then we can put these cable on that drain pipe on, so we can pop those on. Yeah, bumper, arch liners, and then wheels and front under tray. And that should basically, yeah, other than that little trim that goes over the 12-volt battery positive, that should be it. And then test drive. Oh yeah, so I put fluids in it. It's got oil and coolant in it. I like to kind of get them in as early as possible, really, and then you can check for leaks. Depends what you've taken apart. So in this one, I really wanted to get the gearbox oil in as soon as possible, and then just sort of looking under here. No leaks, no drips, so that's good. That's what we want to see. Sometimes you can get a little drip when it's like this, when the drive shaft's at quite an angle and it sort of pulls the seal, and then sometimes when it goes back down it settles down. But yeah, just want to make sure that that is all good. So we are nearly there. It feels like I've been fixing this car for ages, probably because I have, but yeah, not been the easiest, that's for sure. Right, okay, onwards and upwards. Cheers. Okay, I think we are there, or at least ready for road test. So I've got all my arch liners on, wheels are on, need to torque up the wheels, but it is about back together. I really hate the clips they use on here. I mean, I don't really know why they've extended that negative round and down there. I half suspect it's something to do with the sort of rescue mode, so that rescue procedure, so that if the emergency services need to disable the battery, they can just go snip. But I can't think of any other reason why that wouldn't just go across and onto there. I mean, it makes it slightly easier, I guess, but that's the only reason I can think of. But bit of an odd one, but there we are. So it's got no AC gas in it at the moment because I had it degassed just to make everything easier, basically. So yeah, everything is on, and look at this. There's now this amazing feature. If we watch that other wheel, oh, the other one goes the other way. Oh yes, there is actually a differential between them. Amazing. I'll need to do fluid top-ups and everything, but because I've got the front of the vehicle raised, I basically get it to this point, do a road test, and then I can do some checks, make sure there's no drips of oil or anything like that out of the gearbox. Yeah, so quick road test, do my checks, and then take it for a long road test. So get it up to speed, do a good few miles, drive 10 miles, turn around, drive 10 miles back down an A road sort of thing at decent speed, motorway speed, and then at that point I'm happy. And obviously get it regassed, but that is absolutely fine. So we are getting there. This car is just, I've never had one like it. Like this morning, wanted to get on with this. I must have had about 6 or 7 phone calls, and it's just insane. I was on the phone and the phone's ringing again. I can hear it beeping. I was just like, come on, I've got work to do. I mean, it's all good, but it's just with this car. Right, cool. So that is good. I'm happy with everything under here. Just making sure, absolutely making sure that everything is on and tightened up. Cool, let's put that down. That is good. Right, get the car down, took up the wheels, take it for a drive. I've literally got to the point as well with the car situation where I'm blocked in. So, yeah, so I'm literally blocked in by Zoe's. There is another 2 Zoes this way that you can't quite see, and you can see the top of a red one there, then there's 2 more white ones over there. It's just like, so I'm gonna have to move this car just to get this one out of the workshop. Oh dear, and the phone's still ringing. It's all good. Right, let's get this car down and see if we have fixed it, or if it's got any more surprises for us. Right, cool. Okay, it is on the floor. Well, it's on some ramps, but should we see if it actually moves for its own power? Turn off the torch. Oh, this feels like an epic moment. Just because this car's been in here so long. Easter holidays didn't help. Checks in progress. Reverse. No faults. Yeah. Kind of close to stuff. Oh, it's moving. It's moving. It's beeping a lot. Oh, complaining about the wheelie bin. Oh, the brakes sound terrible. And there's another. There's a Peugeot partner bin on here in the way. Right, what I'm going to do is, this is going to complain a lot. Front parking as well. Wonderful. Right, I've got the boot on the latched. And I just need to do that, and then I'll wiggle this out and we'll take it for a short drive. 1 moment please. Right, we are moving. I've just wiggled it out of the workshop. It made a lot of beeps. It's got front parking whatever as well. It's quite a high spec one, this. And there is too many Zoes here. Zoes. Just Zoes everywhere. Pay attention. Zoe. The more cars you get here, the harder it is to get things in and out. Right. It's alive! It's actually alive! Oh yeah! I haven't got my seatbelt on. That's what the beeping is. Oh man, it is out of the workshop. How mad was that? Dash is set to slightly dark. Let's just brighten up the dash a bit so I can see what we're doing. So I will do a long road test, but I just wanted to take this to the end of my lane, spin around, just so I know it fundamentally works, and then I will yeah, just give it a quick check over before I do a proper road test. But it actually moves. Hurrah! Well, thank you very much for watching. Yeah, please do subscribe if you haven't already done so, and have a look at the membership as well. Lots of sort of Zoe tips on the membership, and actually even a way to make your heating better as well. Sorry this video is bouncy, we are literally bouncing down a bouncy lane. I'm relieved. I'm going to go and finish my cup of tea. That's what I'm going to do, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And if there's no more segments to this, then the long road test was a success. Catch you all later. Cheers.